Yeah, I showed this the other day on another video. This is my new 797, Mcculloch 797. That's obviously not new, and in a way it's not new to me because I bought it a little over a year ago and had my son go pick it up out of Salem or Corvallis, Oregon. And but he's had it at his place for over a year, and we just went and picked it up from his place here about a month ago, and then packed it up and brought it home. But it's in pretty good shape. I think most of the wear and tear on it is just from sitting around. You can see the DSP valve decal is gone, and there's no decal on the top. The fuel tank, oh, it's missing out of there entirely, the valve. So, and it doesn't have an O-ring on it. It's got fuel in it. I don't know how old the fuel is. It smells okay, but it's obviously old. Not fresh. It's got a few chips and dings here and there on the paint, but there's not banged up very bad. A little bit of wear back here on the bottom of the flywheel housing. That's kind of where they get, and on this side they get wear there from guys using them, rubbing them on their legs and stuff, or sitting. That one maybe rubbed on something there. It's kind of a little rough, so it's got a spline sprocket, a rim and drum sprocket, and there's very little wear on the bottom, so it didn't bounce around in the bottom of a pickup, back of a pickup, or it didn't sit on a mud floor or anything like that. Got one nice falling dog on it. Bar and chain are both kind of crudded up, rusty from sitting. This chain is about 2/3 to 3/4 gone, and it's a square file chain, and it was probably ground or filed with a square file. It's a skip tooth 404 chain, and the bar there's no wear on the bar hardly. I would say that's probably the only, what brand chain that is. Oh, it's an Oregon chain. So I don't know what brand the bar is. It's a 48-inch roller nose bar. Missing some of the bolts for the flywheel housing. So anyway, everything else looks really good on it. Got the Tillotson carburetor, HL1035, yeah, with a choke, of course. And the air filter is must have got messed up there around the grommet there. Somebody siliconed it up really good. So I'll have to get put a new air filter on it, and fix the maybe that's not even the right air filter for it. Oh yeah, there it goes. Anyway, you get a different fuel cap for it, and fix those, get those bolts in the flywheel housing. But I don't want to go digging those out right now. It's got a round muffler on it, and it's muffler is just the rust on it from wear. So anyway, like I said, there's a skip tooth square file chain, pretty well worn, but I bet that's the only chain that's ever been on this saw, just from looking at the wear on it. This is its competitor. This is a Husky 3120. I bought it a few years ago. Got a good price on it. And I bought a Canon. It's a 42-inch bar, and that's a 404 skip tooth chisel bit chain, and I file that one with this file right here. It's a square tooth file, but it's not, it's kind of a triangular file, but it files a square. I never filed one of these before square, I'd always done round till I got that 895, and it had a 101 Oregon chain on it for ripping, and it was square filed. And then of course there's the one that is kind of the main workhorse. That's a 372, yeah, 372, and that's got a skip tooth. This is a 28-inch bar, Husqvarna bar. It's got a 3/8-inch pitch skip tooth chain, but it's a chipper chain, a round file chain, a round tooth chain, a chipper chain, and that's really the best for this kind of stuff. For these square file chisel bit chains, even the round file chisel bit chains cut nice and fast, but they dull up pretty quick in this kind of wood, and so it's not what should be used in here. This one hasn't been started yet. I'm going to start it up and make a cut with it, see how it works to knock some of the rust off of that chain. And still got the old gas in it, and we'll see what happens with it here. And I'll dump the old gas out and wash the tank out, and but I'm not going to plan on using it any, well, can't use it much because of these screws missing in the flywheel housing anyway, but it's an old saw, and so the seals are probably pretty hard in there on the crankshaft, crank seals, and you never know when they might start leaking. So anyhow, we'll give it a crank and see what happens here. Somebody asked me the other day what I used to bark logs with, and this is a bark spud. This is one my wife got me for Christmas a couple years ago. I think it's Amish made. I think she got it from Lehman's. It's basically a flat piece of steel, and then there's a forged piece here that it fits in, and it fits on a handle, and you push it. It's not like the old ones, that the original ones that were kind of a spoon shaped and sharp, more sharp around the edges, but it works. It works okay. Here's my reference stick for firewood lengths. Well, here goes nothing. Open up the decompression valve, give it a choke. cuts, I'm amazed. I'm amazed that it starts that easy. It's been sitting out here, I don't know how long it's been since it's been started, but it's been sitting out here and cold. It's been about 34 or 5 degrees today. That's not quite so bad, but it's been down in the teens. That valve's completely gone out of there. Somebody took it out. A little bit of what that is, rust. Looks like rust, but it can't be. That's a magnesium cylinder. A little crud in there on the fuel tank. I'm gonna go dump the fuel out here. It's definitely dull. It actually cuts pretty good for. Definitely dull, but it actually cuts pretty good for as dull as it is. But then 97, it should be able to cut with regular chain on it instead of just a chainsaw chain. That's enough gas. Got some bar oil in it. I'm pushing the bar oiler, and the hand oiler works, so it got oil in it. It was put away dirty, but it's not dirty as some of the other saws that I've picked up the last few years. So it should be pretty easy to clean up. There's a lot of oil in it, not a whole lot. So, enough you can see it. Enough of that. Now this saw, not this one in particular, but 797, put a lot of time in on one of these. The time I was about 14 or 15 years old, started using one for bucking on the landing. Cut up a lot of shake blocks with it, fence post, firewood, you know, did a little tree falling and stuff. Really fun to grab one of these and crawl underneath a bulldozer or a cat when it's hung up on a stump and cut it out. Anyway, I used it from the time I was about 14 or 15 until I was about 20, and then I went off to work on the railroad, and my dad sold the big saws and went to the 710 and whatever it was at that time, the Super Pro 81 or 80 or something like that, back in the early 70s, 1970. Well, let me try this again with a little fresh gas, and I'll make a little more cut. I just want to polish up that, clean that chain up a little bit more. It's pretty, it's pitted. It's polishing up now. The bar's kind of pitted too. So, now I don't want to start with new gas in it. Well, that's a dandy. Let's start with the old junky gas in it. Hadn't been run for who knows how long. And of course, new gas in it, it don't want to run. So anyway, there's the 797. I remember running this all day long and having to pry my fingers off the handlebar, the front grip on this when I get done. Stop, get fuel in it, or sharpen the chain or something like that. No anti-vibration, just hooked right into the saw, and loud. Of course, we never used any earplugs or anything like that. And this was probably the saw that I ran the most. I started out, I've been around these since I was a little kid. The first one I can remember is a D44, and then they had the S44A, the Super 44, and then I don't remember whether they had a 440 in there or not, but probably had one of the 170 somethings, and the 740. Dad had something for a while. He only had it for a month or two. I don't know what it was. It was a little bit different. It was one of the front tank saws. It might have been a 550 or a 330, or I'm not sure exactly what it was. But it didn't last very long. These things have a reputation for being hard to start, and it's true. And a lot of it gets blamed on the carburetor, but the real problem is the points in the air filter. When you leave them sit outside, or you leave them sit for a while, the points get tarnished up or get moisture in them. And then the air filters, when they be out in the rain or out where it's wet, the air filter is flocked, and it absorbs the rain or the moisture, and when it does, it swells up and doesn't let air in it. So that was one of the jobs I had from the time I was about 6 years old on, was pull a flywheel, open the points up, dry them out, burnish them, put them back in, set them, and then the neat thing about these is air filters. You take them off, of course, and get it started, and that's the way we clean the air filters. We would take the air filter out, scrape all the crap off of it, wash it with mixed gas, and then and blow it out with the muffler. You just hold the saw up here and blow it out and dry it out, warm it up when it's wet. In the morning, you just start it up. Once you get the points cleaned up where it'll start, and blow it out with the muffler and dry it out. And new saws with that muffler exhaust port right there over the chain kind of makes it a little bit dodgier to do that. But anyway, so that's what happened with the saw Dad had that he only had for a month or two. Is he was working on a job, you know, it might have been clearing right away or something, but there'd been a fire there, and it was the winter time, and to make the saw easier, there was a stump that was smoldering in the bottom, and to make it easier to start, he in the morning he put the saw on top of the stump. Well, that night a big windstorm came up, and that stump flared up and caught on fire, and there went his new saw. So anyway, then it was back to these. I think my uncle used the 250s and stuff on the front tank saws on his jammer for bucking on the landing. But I never really was around those. We never saw any of those. So that's that. Now well actually I'm going to do something here just for fun. And we got the 3120 and the 372. So, I suppose I should put my earplugs in again. Now we'll see how that thing starts after it started it up. Carburetor's set pretty good in that saw. You can hear it four-stroking as I was making through the cut every once in a while, so pretty good indication that the carburetor's set where it should be on Mcculloch. Now this logs are a little too close together here with these long bars. So what I do is I put it in the, instead of using the dogs, I put the bar into the log on the other side and use it to pivot on. that. There's a sharp chain. Makes a difference on that. But and what is it? A 4, 5, 6 inch shorter bar makes a difference. Wood's froze pretty hard. He said it's been down in the 7, 8 degrees, 5 degrees for the last week. Just warmed up the last couple days. But this wood takes a while to thaw out once it gets that cold. So the saw didn't want to start in it very easily. So now we'll try the little saw.